So this is the topic I want to talk about this evening. Why people with trauma are so hard to deal with. And I've dealt with countless amounts of these individuals in my life. You guys probably have as well. Some of you are probably traumatized. And you have to work extremely hard to get yourself out of dark times. But the reason dealing with these people is such a difficult thing and such a tall task, which can often lead to you getting a very shitty end of a stick, is because they're not stable. They're not healthy. They don't know themselves. They don't know who they are. And they're going to try to convince you that they do. They're going to try to convince you and play some role that they're a person for you, or they're good for you, or there's nothing wrong with them, or something of this nature. And if you're inexperienced, you can very much so fall directly into their frame. And that's when you're going to get caught with some heavy, heavy shots. And most of the time, if you deal with people that have a lot of trauma, they're going to leave you. They're going to do something extremely, extremely unpleasant. It could be a huge build-up for half a year to a year and a half to 3 years, 4 years. The worst case is 20 years. I've done many calls with people that have married a covert narc, 20 years, marriage down the drain, everything down the drain. And the closer you are to these people with trauma, the more you will lose yourself. You have to know how to keep people at bay. Like distance. You have to know how to keep people at bay. You have to know how to continue to be yourself. Even if you're in a workplace with people that are traumatized, that have mental illnesses and disabilities and whatever else is going on. Narcissism, BPD, the list goes on. Even people who's bipolar. The list goes on. And it's a whole different ballgame getting close to these people, and it's extremely hard to deal with them. It's as if you get nowhere. You get absolutely nowhere with these people. More so with a healthy person, you feel like you're making progress consistently, which is a good sign. You want to feel like you're making progress with somebody that you're close to, that you're dealing with. It could be a relationship partner, a friendship. It could be anything really. And friendships and relationships, bro, when you think about it, it all hurts just as bad when you get betrayed or something really toxic or negative happens. It all stings. I've got stung before by friends. I've got stung before by females that I dated. I got stung before by family members, and it's all about the same. It just depends how close you are to the person that you've dealt with. It's what I've come to realize. And like I said, it's very difficult to deal with people who are traumatized in some form. But with experience, you gotta be good, G. It's hard to get sucked into something crazy, which could hurt you bad. It's hard to get fully sucked into something when you have so much self-awareness. You can put a stop to things real quick, because there's a certain part of you that you won't let yourself go to that place. Whereas people that have inexperience, they'll keep going towards the traumatized people, and all of a sudden you get hit. They basically lead you to the fiery gates of hell because that's where they are, and they will very much so lead you there. They will, if you let them. If you don't let them, they won't. It's actually all on us. That is something else I'm coming to realize, and this is why it's so important to keep these people at a bit of a distance and a bit of a length. That's why it's so important. Because you will pay the price. You will get sucked into certain things. You will pay a price. And that's how it's going to be. The difficulties of dealing with them, bro, it is endless. It is the highs and the lows, the turmoil, the anxiety. The littlest things that happen can completely trigger them. You could be somewhere and some lady who's working somewhere says something to you, and if you're beside a girl or something that you're with or something like that, they could completely freak out. Like, that's not normal. But they do this because of their mental issues. They do this because they're traumatized. They do this because of the events that have taken place in their lives. And a lot of the time, people's trauma is not their fault. It got placed onto them from somebody else. And that is what a mature person knows. I have matured drastically over the years, even from dealing with people, bro, and understanding exactly why things are the way they are, why they do the things they do. And it's people like myself, and not just me, but others in the world who have this level of self-awareness, this level of maturity that can help these people the most out of anybody else. Because if you get an unself-aware person and someone who has issues deals with a person who is not self-aware, things just get ugly real quick. Like real ugly, real quick. Traumatized people can step all over these types of people, but they cannot step all over you because of your experience, because of your maturity, because of how much you know, how much you've grown. You put a stop to what they're doing, and you actually make them realize certain things which other people can't do, but you can. It puts them in their place. It shows them, yes, this person's right. I am messed up. I am doing something wrong. That's when you can catch them. These are people that have mild issues. There's mild and there's severe, because people with severe issues, they're so far gone, it's not even funny. The best counselor, the best therapist on earth couldn't possibly help them. That is the facts. That is the truth. There are people that are that far gone that cannot be helped, and they have very, very, very bad cases of these types of things. There's a lot of people in the world with mild cases, and it can be helped. It can be treated. It can get better through work. They have to want to do it. They have to want to put in the work, and it's very achievable. You just have to have a hunger to want to get better. Nobody's perfect. Everybody can work on things. We all have to work on certain things. And that's what makes us who we are. We become what we are from our own choices. I thank God every day for giving me the level of self-awareness I have. And not only that, but also the strength. Because I went through things that people don't come back from. I've been manipulated and abused in a way, like psychologically, not physically, psychologically, by people. And that is when I was less mature, less experienced, so it hit harder. But now that you have experience, the things you deal with, the people you deal with, it don't hit the same. There's nothing you've never seen. Oh, okay. I've seen this. You can put a stop to that. You don't have to be involved in it and not know what's going on in a certain situation you might find yourself in. You know exactly what's going on. Therefore, you can do something about that. And not only can you do something about that, you can actually help these people if they want to be helped. But if they don't want to be helped, you can't help nobody. You cannot help nobody who don't want to be helped. You can't. It's impossible. But from what I'm seeing today, there's a lot of traumatized people. There's a lot of people with issues. There's a lot of people who ain't going to do the work. There's even a lot of young bucks today. They think they're cool in high school, and I don't say this to be mean, but it's just the truth. They think they're so cool, so popular, so big in high school and stuff like this, and they might have been. But here's the thing. When that ends, you enter a whole new world. What you gonna do now? How you gonna adjust into an adult? You're not gonna adjust right away. That's the answer. It's gonna take work. You're gonna have to do things you've never done. You're gonna have to work in a way you've never worked. You're gonna have to grow in ways you've never grown. It's a lot of work. And I back this up with studies, because there's studies that are coming out, and it's saying things like, back in the day, early adulthood was the best days, was the best years of people's lives. From a happiness standpoint, a success standpoint, so many different standpoints. And now it's like the worst. It's the worst. I can testify to this. My early 20s was shit. It was shit. Hated it. I just put my head down and grinded so hard. That's all I did. And I fought through things. I fought through so many things, and I matured. And I did what I was supposed to do. A lot of people today, they're not doing it. How many people's actually doing that, bro? And if you don't do that today, in today's economy, have fun. Have fun with yourself. Have fun with your life. Because it ain't going to be pretty later on. You got to get after it young. You got to get after it often. You got to get after it early. If you want better things to come for the rest of your human years. Like I said, studies don't lie, numbers don't lie. As of right now, early adulthood, let's say 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24-ish, the worst years to be alive right now. The worst. It was for me. It goes to show that those things are facts. And the only reason I'm living good years as of right now, and maybe the last couple of years, is because of how hard I worked. And it does not stop. The work don't stop. You've never made it. There's no such thing. Life goes on. We got to keep putting in. We got to keep putting in the work. No, regardless of how high we climb, we're still just like everybody else. We got to put in the work. And when you put in the work, you get the results. So today, I think a lot of people is lacking a lot in the work they're putting in the work they're not putting in. They're lacking in the you got to get to work category. Like, you don't just work tirelessly physically. You have to learn. You have to educate yourself. You have to stay inside for some time and learn. There's lots of great information. Everything helps. You'd be surprised the amount of things that you can learn and how life can change because of it. You would be surprised. You can learn about traumatized people. You can learn about toxicity. You can learn about narcissism, borderline personality disorder. You can learn about a whole bunch of different stuff. It can literally save your life. But people are so stupid today, bro. People are so stunned. They think it's all about fun, fun, fun. Just get some job, go to school for a few years, get some career, have that earning career, spend money, and have fun, fun, fun. Go to this concert, go to here, go to there, take a trip, come back. You're not growing. Life is significantly worse living that way. I never seen a life of living it that way. Never. It's about committing yourself to a whole other level so you can live a life that most people can't. And most people never will. Because they won't put in that work. They won't put in that time. They just won't do it. It's plain and simple. They won't do it. Nobody could keep up with me. And I tried very hard to get people at the age of 18 plus, trying to get people to come. Let's put in the work. Let's do this, let's do that. Coming up with ideas, trying to get people to wake up. But nobody want to do it. They just want to be unmotivated. They want to get fat. They want to get out of shape. They want to become unappealing. They want to just do everything pleasurable and never put anything in. Ever. And they become traumatized themselves. They become individuals with very low levels of self-identity because they haven't grown. They haven't put in the work. They haven't become. Not only have they stagnated, they numb themselves with certain substances, alcohol, weed, drugs, whatever it might be. Fun times ain't gonna get you nowhere. Fun is fun. Kids have fun. It's a wonder this world's so traumatized and toxic and crazy, bro. The littlest things trigger everybody. You could be a successful man walking around today. That's enough to trigger half of humanity. Probably more than half of humanity. People see you and they see your confidence, they see your swagger, they see your growth. And they're just butthurt about it. Because they're not doing what you're doing. They won't. They refuse because they're doing things all the time to distract themselves, to have fun, which further traumatizes them even more. Because as their life keeps going on, there's just this big dark cloud over their head, it seems, because they haven't done what they were supposed to do. I can't imagine living my life not doing what I was supposed to do. I'd be the same way. I'd be traumatized. Why would I do that to myself? I know what I feel inside. I know what I think. I know what I'm doing. I know what I felt for the last 10 plus years of my life. There was a calling on my life. There was work that needed to be done. God told me to do the work. There was something else with me the whole time speaking to me when I easily could have just went with everybody else. When I easily could have just went the same way everybody else is going because I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I have to do this. I have to do this because everyone else is doing this. No. I showcase courage. I showcase bravery. I was not afraid to take the road less traveled. That's what I did. You actually become a healthy human being when you can take that road, when you can take that path in life and work through things and grow. You become the man or you become the woman everybody low-key wants to be. And when you're that, when you walk around this world, you're going to see just how traumatized most people are. You'll see the trigger points. You will see crazy things, bro. You will see so-called friends turn to haters. You will see just about everything. And there's not much you can do about it. But this is my exact point why people with trauma are so hard to deal with. It's very hard. It's very difficult. You can have conversations with healthy people and it's just clicking, it's clicking, it's clicking. Y'all can talk for hours. It's just clicking, it's just really good. But with them, That's why friendships lack today. That's why relationships are completely stunted today. That's why things are so bad today. It's because everyone has fallen behind. Everyone has just not done what they were supposed to do. Like, I really think that's what it is. People cannot face themselves. They have to go with everyone else. They have to go here. They have to go there. And these people act and pretend like they're so, like they're doing the right things, but they're not. They're not doing the right things. Who are you when you're by yourself? Do you know who you are? Can you speak? Can you articulate yourself? Can you talk? Are you emotionally healthy? Do we know who you are? You don't know who most people are. You don't. They feel more whole around everyone else, but when it's just them, we have no clue who you are. People have to take their own paths. People have to do their own work. And that's when you can start to get around other people. People have just neglected a part of themselves today, is what I think. A part of themselves which was going to make them grow the most. I do believe that is what's happening. I do believe it is possible people have went through things since childhood, people's traumatized, stuff like this, but you can work through anything. You can work through absolutely anything. You just have to put your mind to it. You have to really want to do things. You have to really want it in life. And if you don't, you're going to get that result. You didn't want it. But when you really want it, you're going to get that result. And with that being said, that's the end of this video. God willing, God bless. We'll see y'all at the top.